So when they say that for you to formulate an opinion on a movie, you need to watch it more than once. There are just certain ones that you look at the first time and you already know what it's gonna be. And this movie just so happened to fall into that category. Josh Boone wouldn't. How can I put this? I won't say that Josh Boone did a bad job at directing the movie. I just don't think he completely understood what he was doing with this series. With this being the last movie in the X-Men franchise, we kind of saw I don't even know how to put it, lackluster, a falsetto. It wasn't good, I'll say that. It led up to another movie that would never be made. So I'm not quite understanding why they even let it be released. If we're sitting here and actually thinking about it, when you release a series of movies and all of them are supposed to be a continuation of what's happening, and then suddenly this series abruptly comes to a stop, the last movie that has been created, in my opinion, should be reshot in a certain way that ends the story. It doesn't leave it in a sense where you think something else is going to happen, because we all know now that the New Mutants is the last movie in the Fox X-Men's franchise. And not even only that, the movie in itself was very piss poor. Genuinely hated it. At first I liked it, but as I started to watch it more and more, I started to realize that the plot made zero sense whatsoever. The characters were not fleshed out at all. The acting was weird. It was weird. I wouldn't say that it was bad, but it wasn't good. I don't feel like the cast was actually trying. Maybe it was the source material that they were given. Maybe it was the director. Maybe they're just all not the best actors. I mean, I've only seen a few of them in other films. Probably two of them. The other one just comes from Game of Thrones. I've never truly watched Game of Thrones, so I don't know how good her character actually is and how well her acting would be. Actually, we're gonna look that up really quick. Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, I'm gonna break it down to you in the most simplest way possible. I'm gonna make this easy. Not gonna say too much or say too little. Mind you, I'm going to tell the entire film, so spoilers ahead. So the movie starts off with our main character, Danny, reservation, where she lives because she is a Native American. It gets destroyed by a tornado. We see that her father is killed off screen by a entity that we cannot exactly see, but as we learn throughout the movie, it's called the Demon Bear. Danny wakes up inside of a mental institution. Wait a second. Was it a mental institution? I don't think. Was it a mental institution? No, wait. Yeah, it's a mental institution. I think. I really don't know. Anyways, it's not important, I guess. We wake up and we see Dr. Reyes. Now, Dr. Reyes is a very familiar face to me because I've seen her in like different movies. Don't ask me which ones, because I don't know. Anyways, Dr. Reyes tells Danny where she is, and we see that we learn that Danny's whole tribe has been killed. She's the only survivor. She tries to tell her that, she's safe somewhere. Danny doesn't believe it, blah, blah, blah. It's basically a bunch of cliche nonsense. So, we open up a few minutes later to see the rest of everybody else. And I'm going to refer to them by their aliases, not their actual names. We have Cannonball, we have Sunspot, we have Wolfsbane, and we have Magic. Now, my favorite character out of all of these has to be Cannonball. Not just because he's an American cowboy in his, southern twang. But, he's an all-around cool dude. I think he's a very, haunted character. His father died in a mine shaft, and he was the reason, along with the rest of his dad's crew. I feel like his backstory was more tragic than anybody else's besides Sunspot's, who accidentally killed his girlfriend. That was a little sickening. Alright, so anyways, we continue the movie, see what's happening and all this stuff. It's not really much of anything that is happening. It's more of just them sitting around the entire movie doing nothing, trying to learn each other. And I wouldn't even call it learning each other because most of the movie doesn't make sense because none of these characters are exactly fleshed out in any way. All we know is that they all have an existing trauma and that they are scared to use their powers, or they don't want to use their powers. Except for like Magic. Magic likes to use her powers to strike fear into Danny. But the thing is, this movie set up so much and left us sort of wanting so much that it was more of a disappointment because of that than anything. I would explain the rest of the movie, but nothing really happens. Like at all. Until the very end when they find out that they've been working for, what's that guy's name? Mr. Sinister? Well, he isn't Mr. Sinister in this movie. He is actually called by his real name, which is Essex. Nathan Essex. Fuck. You know what I'm trying to say, alright? But look, the movie doesn't really hold any weight. It just kind of, it's like a setup movie. It's like a movie that we know was supposed to set up more stuff to happen, but we also know that nothing else is going to happen because the whole series got canceled. So now we just have this somewhat odd movie that seems out of place and everything for it to be a finale of a cinematic series. I mean, honestly, like I said, they shouldn't have made it. They should have just left that alone. They should have never released it if they knew this was going to happen. I don't even know why I bothered, because it was, wow, it wasn't a waste of time, but it just set up stuff and nothing happened because nothing's gonna come out of it. That could be considered a waste of time, I guess, but I won't, say like, Josh Boone did a bad job or anything. The movie was shot pretty well. Maybe it could be written a little better, but other than that, it was, yeah. I give it like a solid something. I won't even put a number on it. Something. It's watchable. I'll say that it's watchable. I think I'm done bashing on the movie for now. So if you're new here and you like this or you don't, doesn't really matter. Like, dislike, subscribe, doesn't matter. As long as you say something. As long as you say something, it is completely okay with me. Completely okay. Also, you guys should be getting a new video very soon, within the month. Another one. This time it would not be a review because I'm actually starting to dislike doing reviews. I'm going to actually drop a video essay for you guys on the Joker. So hopefully, I get that edited and made correctly, and we'll see how things go from there. We'll see the reviews on it. See what you guys like about the content and everything, and we'll take it from there. So yeah.